This is Jonathan Angoff here for Pro Boxing Fans. We're at the final press conference for Regis Progress' massive unification with Josh Taylor on the weekend. Before we get into all of that, I've got to say, an incredibly heartfelt speech from you, Lou, just before you got into talking about the fight, obviously talking about the Patrick Day tragedy. Just tell me your emotions at the moment.
I'm sad. I mean, we lost a great kid. You know, we lost the fighter. We lost part of our boxing family. But more importantly, his mom and dad lost their son. His brothers lost a brother. His friends lost a dear friend. The boxing community in New York is really heartbroken right now. Patrick was as popular, as well-liked, as friendly, outgoing, decent a man as you could meet. And he's gone way too soon. I've said this a number of times. I'm going to take this opportunity to say it yet again. We can't make our sport perfectly safe, but we can work as hard as we can to answer the questions we need answered and take action to make it safer than it presently is. And that's something I commit myself to doing in the future. I owe it to Patrick Day and to every other fighter of mine or every other fighter out there as a boxing fan who's going to get into a ring. And I've spoken to a number of the other people in the industry that are in positions to help this kind of effort. I am confident that we can start an initiative to answer the questions we need answered and make the changes we need to make the sport safer. And that's something we have to do. And Patrick's death and the death of all these other warriors who have lost their lives in the ring recently, they can't be in vain. We have to get out there and make our sport safer. And you know what? You know, this has been said too. The best fighting the best, like on Saturday night, that's the best face that we can put on our sport. Saturday night is as good a fight as we can make in boxing. The World Boxing Super Series final on Saturday between Prograis and Taylor is clearly, in my mind, the two best 40-pounders in the world. Apologies to Ramirez, who's a great fighter in his own right, but I believe that these are the number 1 and 2 140-pounders in the world. They're going to get it on. The winner is the king of the 140-pounders. The winner is the true champion at 140. I think it's good for boxing that this fight's happening. I'm looking forward to it. It's an incredible opportunity for both men, and I'm looking forward for Regis having his moment to prove that he is the best.
Yeah, and we wish Patrick Day and his family all the very best. Now, going on to the main event on Saturday, you said it, best versus the best. A lot of people in the UK think Josh Taylor's the favourite. A lot of people in America, I believe, have Regis as the favourite. As someone who's watched Regis closely, what gives him the edge over Taylor in this fight?
If I was evaluating the fight, the reason I would give my fighter the edge, I think Regis is more versatile, adaptable, his style. He makes adjustments a little bit more easily than Josh does, I think. If you watch a bunch of Regis Prograis fights, they don't all look the same. You see him adjusting to who he's fighting more clearly than you see that with Josh. Josh is a terrific fighter. I mean, I'm a big fan of Josh Taylor. He has tremendously sound fundamentals. He can punch. He's got power. His pressure is relentless. Very difficult guy to fight. I think Regis is an even more difficult guy to fight and a harder guy to figure out. And I also think if something's happening in that fight that's not going Regis' way, I think Regis can find a way to change and turn the tide, where I'm not so sure Josh Taylor can do that in the same situation.
I mean, Regis has been here, as we said, for a couple of weeks now, more than a few weeks. How beneficial will that be in terms of adjusting on Saturday night, or not much difference?
No, it's a big difference. A lot of reasons. I think he's comfortable here right now. I think he's adjusted to the time difference. He's adjusted to being in the UK. He's gotten comfortable with the fans and the people of London. He's not going to walk in that arena feeling in any way uncomfortable. I think being here for these 3 weeks has really helped him.
From a promotional aspect, we've seen the fight grow and grow over the last few weeks.
Well, I think, honestly, I mean, I don't want to pat my fighter on the back, but I already have. It's grown in the past few weeks because he's been here. He's been working relentlessly, not only on preparing for the fight and relaxing and getting adjusted. He's been working relentlessly to promote this event, to make it as big as it possibly can be. And you know, I need people in the U.S. to watch it too. Over here, you can get it on Sky pay-per-view, but in the U.S., you need to download the DAZN app and subscribe to DAZN. Boxing fans in the U.S. need to see this fight because this is as good as it gets.
We talk about the U.S. I just want to talk about a couple of fights coming up. You're obviously involved with Deontay Wilder. Fight announced with Wilder-Ortiz.
I'm not involved in this fight.
Not involved anymore.
But I'll still talk about it. Look, I mean, Ortiz is a dangerous dude. I don't care if he's 50 years old. He's a dangerous dude. He's a dangerous dude the first time. I think it's an interesting fight because Ortiz is a left-handed puncher, and he caught Wilder the first fight and hurt him. I expect Deontay actually to win, though, in easier fashion. And I don't have any stake in the game, but I do expect. I think Deontay's punching power is too great. I think Deontay's improving, where I think Ortiz is sort of heading toward the end of his career.
And talk to me about December 7th, the massive rematch, Joshua-Ruiz. What does Joshua have to do for you to claim the belts back?
He's got to walk in there and he's got to be the man. He's got to be AJ. He's got to walk in there and he's got to boss him around. He's got to be the bigger man and fight like the bigger man. He's got to fight smart. He has to forget what happened at Madison Square Garden. He has to just worry about that night and that moment and know that he's capable of beating Ruiz. And I believe he is capable of beating Ruiz. But I want to tell you something. That's a betting fight. That's a fight I'm not sure of the outcome. You know, can he put that fight behind him? Does Ruiz just have his number? Will a guy like Ruiz always be a problem for AJ? I don't know. But I can tell you that I'm looking forward to the fight.
And just talk to me about what you're doing promotionally. I know you've got Tevin Farmer. Just tell us what's going on with his next fight.
Well, I mean, I also have Richard Comey defending his title against Teofimo Lopez in December at Madison Square Garden. That's underneath Crawford.
Undisputed.
Forward, by the way, I want to see Sergey Derevyanchenko get another big opportunity after I thought he beat Triple G. That was a sensational fight. You know, I'm busy, but I got to tell you something. After the couple of weeks I've just had, I'm hoping for a victory on Saturday night by Regis Prograis, and I want to take a few days off and relax.
Well, Lou, I appreciate your time here, and yeah, we'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you.